Hi, this is Keith with How to Build Your Own Home. I want to talk about setting your house and making sure that you're within the buildable area of your home, of the build lot, and that has to do with a survey or survey markers. And if you find survey markers, like I found one here, I've also found one way down here, the other end of the property, I can use those and I can pull my line to properly set my home. I don't like to spend money on surveyors. Now, I know that they're needed and I don't want to criticize surveyors. But my surveyor charged me $1,000 to come up here and mark this home. And I don't like to spend money when somebody comes up here and does something for less than an hour, maybe 30 minutes, and they come in and mark something. To me, I'm sorry, but I pay concrete guys $35 an hour and I pay a surveyor $1,000 for coming up a half an hour. I know they have certifications, but a concrete guy has got certifications too. He's licensed to have to be able to do what he does. So I like to put the money into the actual labor of the home, put the money into the actual commodities, materials in the home. And if there's any way I can do that, I can. Now here's one thing to keep in mind. If you have a large lot, like we've got here, it's close to a ½ acre, then you got so much room on that lot that it's hard to mess up on. If you've got a subdivision, which you have barely 10,000 square feet on there, and the home is going to be 1,700 square feet, you're limited on, you have to hit it just dead right. Your setback has to be perfect, your rear setback has to be perfect, because if you're off, then you could really mess things up. Here, I've got a lot of room. I've got a full ½ acre, so I have a 26-foot setback off of one property. I've got almost 50 feet setback off another one. So I'm going to take you into the pit and show you what I'm doing to try to make sure that I'm not encroaching on any setbacks and that I'm actually setting the home in the appropriate way for the build of the area. But I'm actually doing a little bit of movement, and I want to come into the pit and I'll show you what I'm doing. Let's go in here. Okay, we're right here at the corner of where we're actually doing some excavation on a job, and I've got my corner of my house right here. We're going to set it back about 3 feet because my geotech report calls for a 5-foot setback beyond the footprint of the home, which means I have to make a bigger pit than the actual footprint of the home because the geotech requires that. So when I'm digging and getting the lot ready, so where the footings are going to go, I actually kind of look at where other homes are. And so if I'm looking to my left, I see a home this way, and I see another home just beyond that, and we're all 26 feet setback from the road. And I said, that's great. I'm in alignment there, but there's another home over here to the east, which is set back probably another 20 feet further than this house. Now they have that prerogative to do that because they have such a large lot, they can move that lot. But I know that I'm within 26 feet. I've got a property marker over there. I've got another property marker up there. So I measured back 26 feet, and that's the over X beginning of the footprint for the home. Let's go in the pit and I'll show you what I'm doing inside the pit. Okay, we're in the pit right here, and I've got a marker here on the wall. This is actually where the build of the home will begin. The wall will begin right along here. And you notice I've got my 5 feet that's over X on this side, so I'm good there. But I actually cheated this over a foot because I've got an easement through here, and the plot plan indicates a 26-foot easement. But I'm moving it just slightly to the west because I would like a little bit more of an easement. Plus, I have a 5-foot easement, and then I've got a 16-foot drive, and then I've got another 5-foot setback from the house between the drive and the house. Well, I already spoke with the neighbors next door, and they were concerned about the house. They wanted to make sure that that 5-foot setback or that 5-foot easement is going to be maintained, and that I'm not going to put any driveway on that easement. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to encroach. I wasn't going to make anybody mad. I've got plenty of room that way. I've got plenty of room this way. So cheating it over just a little bit, it's not going to be a problem. So actually the marker of the home was right about here, so I moved it a full foot this way. And now I know where we're going. And I've got another mark down there, and the house is 26 feet wide, and then it's going to be 48 feet long this way. And so as we're excavating, we just keep an eye on that line, and we have the over X on the right, the buildable area right inside here, and we're good to go. So far, I've done all that without a surveyor because I was able to confidently pull off a lot of other survey marks. I've got a survey mark down here. I've got a survey mark up here. Now, I don't necessarily recommend this with all builds. Like I said, if you have a really, really tight build, I've taken homes in really tight corners and I've taken those homes right up to the limit line that I could because I needed to. This here, I have that flexibility. And this is something to think about when building a home or buying a home site, is if you have a home site that's a little bit larger, then it gives you flexibility, it gives you the opportunity to place the home in a little slightly different orientation or even set it back a little further, like you see with a lot of these homes up here. Mountain communities are kind of like that, rural communities are like that, you have that opportunity. But again, in metropolitan areas, it's not that case. I just want to give you what I'm doing here on this job, trying to make sure that I get it positioned. I'm right in line with those homes. I'm 26 feet setback from the road. I'm 27 feet, 1 additional foot setback from the side. Plenty of room for my drive. I'm not encroaching upon an easement on that side, and I have plenty of room over here for the house. So I'm excited. It's good. This is what I'm going through. Decisions I make. Again, I'm just a general contractor showing you what I'm doing. This is Keith with How to Build Your Own Home.